Saturday, February 24th, 08:59 a.m. New York time. Good morning. Just completed another week in the U.S. market. Let's do a review. Performance. If you're new to this video, well, you're welcome to Winning Wall Street's Money. If you want to get a notification to watch this video the same day I release it, in the video, below in the description is the link to the Patreon page where you'll get access to the video again the same day I post it. Otherwise, you wait your turn on YouTube. I'm going to go over the equity indexes first. Simply put, the equity indexes are indexes that comprise more than one company inside of it. That simple saying here, S&P 500 identifies as 500 companies in this index. It's a diversified index. The symbol for the cash index, Sierra, Papa, X-ray symbols are here on the top left. This is a chart. This chart I have set to show 5 years of history, and each candle represents a week. The candle, the top represents the high of the week. The bottom represents the low of the week. If it's green, well, it represents it closed higher than where it opened beginning of the week. And if it's red, vice versa, it means it closed lower from the open of the week. If it's yellow, it means the high and low never took out the prior candle trading range. Often means indecision. See these yellow horizontal lines here? I have that labeled to show the low of the year. So the S&P 500 stock index is the go-to index. People that manage other people's money, individual traders, hedge funds, mutual funds. They use this as the go-to index to compare the performance of their individual investments. So if you're in any kind of investment with your job, making contributions, or have your own account where you're making contributions for long term, look at the chart here. Look at the top right. Did your investment make a new high, all-time new high this past week? Well, the S&P 500 made an all-time high this past week. That's a winner. If you're an investment that has not performed equal or better than this, get out of it. Got it? Stick with winners. All-time new high. Outstanding. Yeah, there will be pullbacks. Look, this had a trend up. This pulled back. Nice reversal. Again, look at the history of here. Outstanding. Well, the S&P 500 also has 11 sectors. So if you don't want to buy the S&P 500, you could buy the individual sectors in there. We'll go over that briefly, shortly. In the S&P 500, it also has other indexes. So you want to be trading on a specific index, just part of something here, you could do that too, or break that down. This is the NASDAQ 100. It says 100. It's high-tech companies, mostly focused on growth. I define those in other videos, but growth means, again, that company has a lot more opportunity to continue growing, bigger company, being worth more. So you would see the price often expect the price to go higher. Big difference. Many people invest in investment funds that are not that target. They're just very diversified. So again, they don't have movement as well as this. Again, this is the NASDAQ 100 and made an all-time new high. Winner. And this index is part of the other one I showed you. It's inside the S&P 500. The S&P 500 says 500 companies. Well, 100 of them is this index. All-time new high, outstanding. Now we're in a Dow Jones Industrial Average, very old stock index, been around for a long time, a lot of history. It made an all-time new high. Dow 30 index is very diversified, but it's smaller. It only has 30 companies. Yeah, it's very diversified. So it includes all your different sectors. But again, less of them, more than higher value ones. This past week, this index made an announcement. They're going to change out one of the companies. It happens every so often. One of the companies on here is called Walgreens. They're going to remove it and add another one. The other one is called Amazon. That's going to happen this coming new week, I believe on Monday. This news I showed past days to my Patreon members. Yep. I did buy more of this stock on the dip last week for my long-term investment account. I even included a few shares of the Amazon, but mostly focus on the index. This is another index, the Dow Jones Transport Average. It's also inside the S&P 500. It has, if I recall, like 12, 14 companies or 20. Maybe I'll put that over here sometime. Again, it's not an all-time high. It's the transportation average. It's not a growth. Transportation such as your trucking companies, your airline companies, again, not much growth. See what it's been doing for the past few years here. This is the Dow Utility Average, another index that's in the S&P 500. It also has maybe like 14 companies in its small index. Yeah, I'll have to update that. Look at that. Here's the low of the year. Much closer to the low of the year, downward trend. This kind of index, think about it. Utility average, think about it. Yep, your utility companies, a lot of your electric companies are in here. Well, not a lot, but the big ones. Again, those companies pay dividends for fixed income. So people that are not interested in growth for whatever reason, because growth makes your company more value, why would you not want to be on that? Dow Utility Average, they have companies that pay dividends, high dividends. A lot of companies pay dividends, but they pay higher dividends. Well, the performance of the stock going higher versus paying dividends has proven on growth stocks to give you more value, but people want to buy this for other reasons. Safe haven, they may think growth is going to slow down, so they buy this. Well, you pay dividends and you can still decline. Again, the winners are growth, the good growth. Not all growth are positive. There are some that are better. Again, you see the performance here. And this is the Russell 2000 companies, smaller companies in value. There's the low for the year. And notice this, very close to the high. This is the high of last year, very close to that. But again, it's not at the all-time high. Yeah. So the takeaway again, the three major indexes are winners, all-time new highs, outstanding. And to recap again, NASDAQ 100, Dow Jones Industrial Average, Dow Transports, Dow Utilities, and the other index I don't have on here is the S&P 100. They are inside the S&P 500. Go on to the next. Those 11 sectors I mentioned in the S&P 500. You can buy those too. We'll go from the top down. When I say top down, I'm referring to the percentage of the index that's representing the S&P 500, like a pie. There are some of these sectors that are more weighted average. The first one here being XLK. It represents more than 20% of the S&P 500. What is XLK? It's a technology stock index. So look again, very similar to the NASDAQ 100. Has less companies in this index. So again, if you want to focus on just single sectors, you could do that too, or you could buy the broad stock indexes. Just shy of making an all-time new high for the year. Big difference. This is growth, and it's performing better than those other indexes I showed you, better than the utilities and better than transports. Again, a lot of investment funds are very diversified, but they're poorly diversified. They include losers. They don't help the benefit of growth in your investment. Yeah, saying the point is when other people manage your money, they have less skin in the game because they are doing what's best for them, not for your underlying investment. It's your money. I highly recommend you manage it hands on. Don't outsource it. Plus, you're paying them fees. Wow. XLV. This is the healthcare. Represents almost 15% of the S&P 500. Made a new to high, all-time new high. So this past week, again, healthcare outperformed the technology sector, all-time new high. Yep. Think about it. What's the expense of your healthcare monthly? What's the expense of your healthcare yearly? Somebody's making profits off of it. Why don't you join the crowd and make profits off it too? It's expensive. Don't you deserve it? Didn't you earn it? Yeah. Why is your person that managing your funds not helping you? XLF Financials makes up 13.7% S&P 500, made an all-time new high for this year, coming up to the high of 2022. XLY, Consumer Discretionary, makes up 10.2%. There's a high from 2021, so it's far away from there. And look at this. It took out the high of 2023. That was the high of 2023 and actually broke above it. So it's a new high for this year and above the prior year. So now I remove this. Outstanding. Outstanding. Even though it's not at all-time high, it's still trending up, making new highs for the year. First, I showed you some of those indexes are not. XLC, Communication Services, makes up 9.9% of the S&P 500. Look at that. Testing the swing high right here. It's been doing that for the past several weeks. So I'm going to remove this. Actually, I'm going to leave that there, that blue line. Yep. So it's in a consolidation. This is a trend up. This is a trend down. And when you have overlapping on these candles, regardless of what time frame, if you're looking at it intraday or daily or weekly, these are overlapping. It's in a consolidation. You might hear some people say base. It's a consolidation. It's resting, building energy for a breakout the next trend. Well, we don't know if it's going to be up or down. The point is, it's not in a trend, it's in a consolidation. So when that's charting, they look at this, determine what they think is going to occur, and look to take advantage of getting in before the breakout. And they certainly hope they're right. And if they're wrong, hopefully they got good money management, get out of it. XLI, Industrials, makes up 9.7% S&P 500, all-time new high. Outstanding. Wonderful. Give you a sight too. This is a markup phase. So get it like this. This is a markup phase. Distribution when smart money selling, and then markup phase. Buyers still in this. Outstanding. Next one. XLP. Consumer Staples. New high for the year. Outstanding. Still got a way to get back up its all-time high. XLE. Energy makes up 6% S&P 500. Here's the high for the year, just shy of the high of the year. Again, prior highs of the years. XLU, Utilities, makes up 2.8% S&P 500. Here's the low of the year. Very similar, right, to the other index I showed you on the Dow Utilities? Yeah. XLRE, Real Estate, makes up 2.7% S&P 500. These past years, these highs. And here's the low of the year. XLB, Materials, makes up 2.5% S&P 500. This is the high of 2022. is the low 2022. So huge trading range of that year. And last year and this year, we're still inside the range of 2022. This past week, we closed above the high of last year. Outstanding. So new high of the year. So those are the 11 sectors. And again, you could buy these individual stocks. Showed you many of them are not at all-time highs. And now you know which ones are at the all-time highs, the leadership. As they progress, they help the S&P 500 to go higher. So again, the S&P 500 we saw as all-time new high. But if you want to be in the best of the best, you look at these just like that. And you could be outperforming the S&P 500. Now we'll go at some single stocks, what's called the Magnificent Seven. These are growth stocks, high-tech companies. Apple, just like it says here. Again, 5-year chart, each candle a week. Right off the bat, here's the high of last year, 2023. We are not above that. So you'd be better off investing in the indexes I showed you or the sectors, because Apple is not at all-time highs. It made all-time highs last year. It's above the low this year, but very close to it. Got it? So investing for long-term, I highly recommend. History proves itself. The indexes are a better choice because I mentioned to you, that one index, the Dow 30, they're taking off and replacing one of the companies, taking Walgreens off and adding Amazon. So again, that'd be bearish Walgreens, bullish Amazon, and the index will go up better. So the point is much more diversification in a good index versus single stock at any point in time. Any of those indexes, remove companies and add companies. For trading, short-term trading, day trading, sure, these individual stocks are another good choice. I mentioned more on the long-term investing. Amazon. Here's the high, 2021. Here's the low this year. And we made a new high for this year. Outstanding. Again, this green candle represents the week. It opened here at the bottom of the green body and it closed there. And the beginning of the week, nice opportunity. I like the pullback. I told you I bought a few shares. I also bought a larger position of the Dow 30. So outstanding. Outstanding. And nice. Yep, it's overlapping. It's an acceleration. And I'm expecting this to be higher at the end of the year. Google, the company's called Alphabet, but the stock is Google. Yeah. Outstanding. So this year, it made a new high, all-time new high, and then it sold off. Big trading ranges, huge trading ranges. Notice this year. Again, we're above the low this year. We already made a new high for this year and went down. So the momentum's not continuing up right now. Nope. Meta used to be called Facebook. The symbol used to be Foxtrot Bravo. But they changed the company name and the stock symbol. All-time new high for the year. Outstanding. Outstanding. Yeah, this is not in the Dow 30, but it is in the NASDAQ 100. It is in the S&P 500. Outstanding. All-time new high. Microsoft, a few weeks ago, made the all-time new high. And look at this nice growth. It's growth stock. Outstanding. Yeah, this is in the S&P 500. This is in the NASDAQ 100. It's also in the Dow. And look at that. Retracement. So again, if you were going to invest in the Dow Jones or the NASDAQ 100 or the S&P 500 indexes, it already has Microsoft in there. So buying this on its own, what benefit is it to you? versus if you bought the index, which is more diversified. But again, opportunities are out there buying single stocks, but it's more work to understand, manage it, be situation awareness. NVIDIA, all-time new high, outstanding. Wow, look at this. The low of this year, all-time new high. Took off like a rocket ship. Yep, outstanding. They had earnings, and now this company, what used to be worth $100+ billion, it is now valued at $1 trillion. Yep. Nice. Worth more than Amazon, worth more than Tesla, worth more than Apple. The value of this company is the highest value company, I think, right now in the US stock market. It is not in the Dow 30, but it's in the NASDAQ 100, which is also, of course, we know that NASDAQ 100 is part of the S&P 500. Tesla. Here's the high, 2021. Here's the high of 2022. Here's the high of 2023. The stock price is declining. It's a loser. Here's the low of this year. All the stocks I just showed you, hands down, so many of them are outperforming this company. You might like their products. You might like the CEO, president of the company, different than what the performance of the company stock is. Yeah, it's not a winner. There's better companies to invest in than this company. You see those in the charts. So again, putting your money on this company versus the other ones have proven for the last few years, the other ones are outstanding. Yep. Not only that, again, it's near the low of the year. I show you so many companies and stock ETFs here that made new highs for the year. If you want to say long-term investing, again, we just proved the winners are the other ones for the long-term investing. And be concerned, if you're putting money on this as a single stock, yeah, look at all this red here. It's in a consolidation, very concerning. So again, swing low here, swing line here. I'm not saying it's going out of business, but the growth is much more rapid in the other stocks. Opportunity fast to make money, short-term and long-term in the other ones until this is proven itself, and it hasn't. Year after year, been making lower highs, taking out the prior year highs. Snow. Prior week made a new high for the year. Here's the low of the year, way below the all-time high. Huge consolidation here, which happens to be accumulation. And this is a markup phase. And the other one, Netflix. That was the all-time up here back in 2021. And here's the bottom, 2022. Look at this. It's up in the markup phase. That prior week made an all-time new high for the year. And this past week, that inside candle, that yellow candle, inside candle, small trading range. Interesting what's occurring here. There's better ones than this. There we go. So you just saw the comparison of the top stock indexes, the 11 sectors, and several of the individual stocks called the Magnificent Seven. Thank you, as always, for spending just a little bit of your time with me. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.